Do you ever feel like you're not heard? People don't see you. They don't hear you. They don't take you seriously. They put you on a pedestal. You're the one that's keeping everything together. The peacekeeper. Everybody loves you. They think highly of you. But on the inside, you're dying. Welcome back for another episode. Today, we are diving deep. So grab your notebooks, hang tight, because I'm going to talk about some stuff here that are not only personal, but also things that are lessons that I know that you guys, many of you guys, need to hear. And also just know what happens when you're a people pleaser. What happens when you take care of everybody else? And why do you feel like nobody hears you? Nobody sees you. They say they see your value. They say you are an important person. They say you are amazing and wonderful, and they put you on a pedestal. But the actions behind that don't show that. Words are just words without action. So let's dive in. Let's say, for example, you're a mother. Mothers are keen and known, and it's our natural nature to be the caregiver. The reason so many mothers get burned out, feel like they're put on the back burner, is because of the nature of overgiving and overdoing for everybody else before you feel like you can take care of yourself. And I'll be straightforward right now. Eventually, the bubble is going to burst and you're going to be in burnout and you're going to blow up because you have not filled your cup first. And as cliche as that may sound, I want to be real with you right now. It's very important that you take care of yourself first so that you are not providing on an empty cup. Extremely important. Let me go back a few years. A few years ago, I was still in my marriage, and I was the type of person that took care of everybody. I took care of the people that were in the church group that we were a part of. I took care of my business. I took care of my family. Common nature, right? I was the peacekeeper and the people pleaser. I had the ability to walk into a room and diffuse a situation by a few words, and being able to get people that were in conflict with each other and be the middle person and say, and there's nothing wrong with this. I can still do this. But coming in and seeing both perspectives and saying, listen, like, I get your point, I get your point, but let's come together and understand that different points of views are okay, but we don't need to be doing this. And so being able to be a peacekeeper is something that I was providing. Within that, fast forward a few months later, all of a sudden, I find myself going through a divorce. And now that was my decision. But the crazy part about this is that the majority of the people in that group had no clue that this was coming. Few months before, I didn't even know it was coming. Not on the surface and on the outside. Internally, maybe, but not on the outside. And I'm not going to go into detail of like everything that happened, but there's ripple effects of things that happen. And what I'm able to see now in other people and in their relationships, specifically, not just relationships, other things as well, is if you are this person that is the people pleaser, eventually the bubble is going to burst, which is what happened. I was the people pleaser, made sure everybody else was happy. Yet on the inside, I was dying because it felt like they only see me for this, but nobody ever really asked, how are you really doing? What can I do for you? What is going on? Because surface level, I presented myself as this person that had it all together because I thought I needed to. And so people pleasing can bring a false sense of reality, a false sense of confidence, and eventually the bubble burst. And so if you are a people pleaser, it also means that you are not walking in your truth. It also means that you are not speaking up for what you need. You're not speaking up for what's expected. You probably don't have boundaries in place the way that you need to. Now, let's back it up just a little bit. There's a reason that I had to go through that. And I know there's many of you that can relate to this. I grew up in an environment where speaking up wasn't allowed. If you did speak up, you got in trouble. And so the fear of speaking up was much greater than knowing what the outcome could be, which is respect and honor and being provided for the things that you asked for. So if you grew up in an environment where speaking up was bad and you got in trouble for it, when are you going to break that? When are you going to get to the place where you realize that it's not a matter of, hey, I'm a bitch because I'm speaking up and asking for the things that I need? No, it's because I actually understand and know my value. So there's a difference between speaking up and asking for the things that you know you need and what you want, and doing it in a respectful and honorable manner, and doing it in a bitchy manner. Now, unfortunately, I can't say that I've experienced this, but I've seen this, unfortunately, in society. The difference between the male role and the female role is many times when the male steps up and asks for something that he wants or he needs, it's like, oh, hey, he is the alpha. He's stepping up and he's asking for what he needs. That's awesome. Love that, because we want alpha, right? But if a female does that, a lot of times it's looked at as she's demanding, she's being a bitch, like, what is wrong with her? How dare she ask for the things that she wants or needs? Unfortunately, sometimes that's how it is. And so, as a female, to get the courage to get to a place where you really ask for the things that you are needing and doing it in a powerful but respectful manner, there's a lot of chains that have to be broken. And I found that I've had to break a lot of beliefs and a lot of chains that have been attached around me for so many years, and believing, like, if I ask for this, like, what are they going to think about me? What if, screw all the what ifs. I'm going to ask it anyway because I know. And so this is really, really important. And I'm going to speak to the females here for a hot minute. If you are in a place where you feel like you're not being heard, you feel like you're not being seen and valued, I'm going to ask you something very quickly here. Are you seeing yourself? Do you value yourself? Do you hear yourself? Are you asking for these things? Do the people around you that you're working with and living with, do they know what you are needing? Have you asked them? Because most of the time, it's because it's our own doing, it's our own thinking. But a lot of times, it's also because we haven't been taught how to ask for those things, how to break the chains that have been strapped around your ankles and your belief system. Give you an example. A few years ago, I paid $3,000 to go to an event, VIP all access. It was supposed to be this gala and all these amazing things. Now looking back, I'm like, I would never pay $3,000 to go, but that's fine. I learned my lesson. It was a $3,000 lesson. Okay. I paid in full for this event. A few months before the event, the person that was putting the event on messaged me and said, hey, I have to move this event. I have to cancel this one and I'm going to move it out 6 months. And I was like, okay, I don't know what my life is going to be like 6 months from now. So I just want a return on my money. And then when we get closer to the event, I will let you know if I want to come or if I can come. Because I was traveling a lot. And as a single parent, like I don't know, how things are going to land. So I'll just do return on the money and then I'll purchase a ticket again if I can go. And his response was, well, we're not doing any returns on this. And I was like, what do you mean we're not doing any returns on this? He's like, well, we're moving the event out. I was like, well, I'm not okay with that. I said, I don't know what my life is going to be like. I'm not okay with that. I need my money back. And his response was, okay, well, I can't pay it back in full, but I can pay it back in monthly payments. And I scratched my head. I'm like, I paid in full. I didn't make monthly payments. What do you mean you can't pay me back in full? So the people pleasing part of me at the time was like, yeah, sure. If you can pay me back in monthly payments and I get all my money back, that's fine. So I let him do it. A few weeks later, I'm on the phone with a friend of mine and I'm telling her this. I'm like, I don't understand. Like, I pay in full, but he's like, I want to pay you back monthly. Like, why wouldn't you just give me the full payment back since I paid you in full? And she's like, well, first of all, that means that he spent the money already. And second of all, she stopped me and she goes, Lizzie, I love you, but the only reason that he's doing that is because you're letting him. And I was like, oh, shoot, I didn't even think about this. So while I'm on the phone with her, I start messaging this person. Before I'm off the phone, I had finished sending the message and I just sent the message and I said, I'm not okay with the payment plans back. I want my money back in full. You know what he responded with? He responded with, I can see you changed your mind on our agreement. And I was like, yeah, I mean, it wasn't a signed agreement or anything. I just said, okay, I did agree or whatever. But I just sent back, I said, listen, I paid in full. I need you to pay me back in full. And he did. He gave me the rest of the payment within a week or so. And that was a very valuable lesson. It was a $3,000 lesson that I learned at that moment in time. It was never about me going to the event or any of that. It was about me learning that I can speak up for myself because that's what was right. Not because the nice person of me is like, oh, sure, whatever's not inconvenient to you. Yet it inconvenient me. So people pleasing is conveniencing everybody else but yourself. And people will take advantage of that. They will take advantage of you. But the reality is you're allowing it to happen. So I'm going to ask you again, are you valuing yourself? Are you seeing yourself? Do you know what you bring to the table? And I can tell you from experience, even just in recent weeks, that there have been some very eye-opening things. You can feel and know that, yeah, I know what I bring to the table. I know what I provide. I value myself. But then on the back end, you look at how you're allowing other people to treat you or what you're not asking for. And sometimes these people don't even know that they're doing it. And you know why they don't know that they're doing it? Because you haven't spoken your truth, because you haven't spoken up, because you haven't asked what it is that you're needing. And at the end of the day, if you do speak up and you do ask for the things that you are needing and what's required, and you set your boundaries and your standards, and they don't respect that, then they're not the right people for you. Okay. So they didn't see you in the first place, they didn't value you in the first place. If they value you and respect you, then when you do speak up and you ask for the things that you are needing, they will value and respect you even more. The biggest thing that I learned when I started to speak up and ask for the things that I know that I was needing, I saw two things happen. The first thing that happened was the people that weren't right for me to be in my life and in my business left. They didn't like that I was standing up for what I was needing. The people that were right, they started respecting me. They started appreciating that I was standing up and asking for the things that I needed because I saw my value. People respect you when you respect yourself and you respect your value. So, are you respecting yourself? Are you valuing yourself? Do you ask for the things? Now, of course, there's always going to be certain type of people that just they don't know how to show you those things. They don't know how to give you those things. You could be the same person in the same room, in the same situation with two different people, and the one person won't see you. They will not know how to treat you. They will not know how to speak to you. They will not know how to honor you, respect you, and really see you. They can't because they've not been taught how to do that. Or maybe they don't even see themselves. Insecurities, whatever it is. Lots of work to do there. You come over here and you have another person, same situation, and they see you and they hear you and they honor you and they respect you. So there are differences. However, the person that is the most important to see, hear, respect, and honor you is you. When you start understanding your value and what you bring to the table, it is much easier for you to speak up for yourself. I'll give you an example. Recently, I had a consultation with someone. This lady wanted to work with me very badly. And I mean, a beautiful human being, beautiful lady. I wanted to work with her too. And she wanted to go have a conversation with her husband. I'll say, great. You should have a conversation with your husband. Discuss this. I was like, where's he at? Like, give me, kind of some feedback on like, where's he at? Is he going to support you in this? Because support in this is really important. If you are in a relationship and you guys are making these decisions together, his support is going to matter. And the first thing she said to me was, well, he'd probably say, I can take this money and invest it in this and double it by XYZ. And so my question to her was, okay, I get that. I'm sure he can. But my question is, what do you want? What is it that you want? Do you want to feel better? Do you want some answers? Do you want help? You've been spinning your wheels for quite some time. Years actually, with no results. What do you want? And are you going to step up and ask for what it is that you are needing and wanting? Do you value yourself enough for that? And she took that, she took it to her husband. And here was the interesting thing. This is when you know that you know your value. So they had their conversation. I'm not tied to this. That's not how I work. It's either a heck yes or a heck no, whether or not you want to work with me and if it's a good fit. I'm not going to try to convince you, persuade you, or any of that. I'll guide you, but the rest is up to you. And it's either heck yes or heck no. But here's what happened. So they had a conversation and she comes back to me, and her husband told her that this is how much we'll pay now, and then we will pay the rest at the end. And I was like, I kind of like laughed to myself. And I was like, wait a minute. That's not how this works. That means you would have completed the program before you finished paying. We don't work for free here. Second of all, that's devaluing what I bring to the table. And so then the thing that I don't know if they both said this or if it was him. They said, it's not that we don't think that I'm worth, like the wife, it's not that we don't think that I'm worth this investment. The question is, are you worth the investment? And I just started laughing because I thought to myself, when you work with me or you buy a program or you invest in a coach, you're not investing in that person. You're investing in yourself. I have a coach and I've had a coach for years. I don't do that because I'm investing in my coach. I do that because I'm investing in myself, and it's the only way that I can grow. And I would not be where I'm at if I did not have a mentor in my life. No way. I think every single person should have a mentor in their life. So when people come and work with me, yes, I'm going to do your lab work. We're going to figure out like what's going on internally. I'm going to help you with your diet, exercise, sleep, supplementation, whatever it is that you're needing there. But that is a small fraction of what we do. The biggest transformation that happens is the mentoring with the mental, emotional, and spiritual. Because if you don't transform there and heal there, all the rest isn't going to matter. You have to have it all together. And so that's what we do. We dive deep in that. So, anyway, back to the story of this. I'm chuckling because I'm laughing because I know what's going on here. And so I told him, I said, no, I can't do that. I said, these are my options. You can, do this or this. That's my business. And they came back and they said, here's what we can do. We can do this now. And then they gave like 4 or 5 more options of like, here's when we can pay you. And I was like, no, that's not how this works. These are my options. You can either do this or this. And that's how I run my payments in my business. If that doesn't work for you, then this is probably not a good fit. And I just said that. And at the end of it, I said, the people that I see that have the most success and the best results are the people that jump in and they just say, heck yes. That's why I say it's a heck yes or a heck no. They say, heck yes, let's do this. And they jump right in and they're not questioning and negotiating any of this. By the way, I have a question here. When you go to the store and you buy something, let's say you go to IKEA and you buy a furniture set. Do you negotiate with them and you say, well, this is what I'm going to pay? Or do you pay whatever that price is that they give you at checkout? When you go shopping at Costco, do you negotiate what your price is at the end and you say, well, this is what I'm going to pay and this is what I can do? Or do you pay what the bill is? Same difference. This is a business. And so the lesson that I learned here, this is why I'm sharing this, because everything's a lesson. I have no ill will towards this. There was a lesson in this. And here was the lesson. I knew my value. I knew my business. And I know what I bring to the table and how much I can transform your life. I know that, how much I can help you. Okay. In the past, the old me would have been like, yeah, sure, we can do that. I'm happy to accommodate those payment plans. The new me says I should have charged more. Because let me tell you something else when it comes to spending money on things. Okay. If you spend money on things, whether it's a program or a thing, you don't take it seriously, you don't take care of it, it means that you didn't pay enough money for it. Therefore, it wasn't painful enough and it didn't stretch you enough to make you appreciate it and pay money for it. I had this lady, this was quite a few years ago. I had a lady that I worked with and she paid thousands of dollars to work with me in my program, and she showed up 2 times. Did her blood work, went over her blood work, gave the plan. She was in my 12-week program, showed up 2 times. And after that, I didn't hear from her. That has never happened before. I loved her. I was talking to my coach about it, and my coach told me, he's like, well, that just means that you didn't charge her enough. If you would have charged more, she would have shown up, but it wasn't high enough of a price for her to take it seriously. And I was like, oh, that's so true. So if you purchase something or invest in something and you don't take it seriously, it just means that it wasn't a high enough price for you to take it seriously because it wasn't uncomfortable for you. So, going back to, are you feeling heard or not? Are you feeling seen or not? It's not about whether or not other people see you and hear you. It's about whether you do. Because there's no way that other people can truly see you, value you, hear you, and honor you in the way that you want if you're not already doing that for yourself. So, the very first step is for you to get there, for you to be able to see that. And if you do not know how to do that, that's why there's people like me. I've been there, I've gone through that, and I know what it feels like. And it's a matter of getting in there and getting messy and going, I got to unravel these chains. I got to change how I'm thinking about this. I got to change how I'm doing things. I got to change how I see myself. And a lot of times, actually 100% of the time, you need someone in your life that can teach you how to do those things. I have some ladies in my membership program, my wellness membership, because they went through the 6-week program and then they're in my wellness membership. And we were talking about, how do you change your mindset around certain things? And so they're telling me, like, well, this is why I have this viewpoint of myself. And it stems way back to their grandma telling them that they were fat. And it created this negative spiral in their mind about their view on themselves. And it's still, these are women that are in their 40s. And it's still affecting how they view themselves and how they do things. And so the first step with that is addressing that part. What do we do to change how we view ourselves? But the first step is breaking the chains. We don't understand like how much the things that were set to us when we were little, how much that affects and carries on into our adult life. I had this one girl that she like went through my 12-week program, not my 6-week. And recently talking about her childhood and things that her aunt said to her, things that her grandma said to her, and just all these things that have they're these traumatic belief systems about herself. And recently, she had a massive breakthrough because we really dove into, well, first of all, where's this coming from? Why do you believe the things that you do? Where's it stemming from? And what are you not willing to let go of? What do you need to let go of in order for you to start healing? And I'm telling you guys, like, I've seen this happen so many times. But I'm telling you guys, week by week, as we work through these things, all of a sudden there's a breakthrough, and I see this person look like they've lost 50 pounds off of their shoulders and their eyes because they just had a breakthrough of healing and letting go of the things that were holding them hostage in their mind and their body. And it's always manifesting in a physical manner. Her, like, they have all these health issues going on. With the one girl, she had like major back pain. Whereas like every time I work out, I get back pain and then I'm broken again and I can't work out. And so I asked her straight up, I was like, what are you afraid of? What are you holding on to? What kind of resentment do you have? Like, what is it? And she's like, nah, not really anything. And I was like, I beg to differ. And so week by week, she sat with it. She journaled. She had her time. And all of a sudden, she gets a breakthrough. And I told her, I said, because, she had this revolving habit of when things weren't working, she would go for the quick fix. I got to reach for the quick fix it real quick. But then it would just spiral back. And so I told her, I said, this time you're not going to do that. I'm not going to let you do that. So if you want this to change and for your body to actually heal and you get to a place where you will get the results that you want and you keep those results, you're gonna have to sit in this until you figure it out. And you know what she did? She did. It got messy. It got hard. The waters were muddy. But you know what she did? She stuck it out. And I was so proud because she went through the muddy waters, and all of a sudden, one week she gets on a call and I was like, you had a breakthrough, didn't you? You look different. She's like, yeah, I did. And she finally realized like what was going on. And of course, there's always layers and stuff. But she got to that place where she was like, oh my gosh, like it was me. I thought it was all the people in my life, but it's actually me. And this is what I needed to work on. This is what I need to work on. And this is what I need to let go of. And when she did that, the physical stuff started to get better too. So again, all your mental and emotional stuff will manifest in a physical manner. So if you're having a lot of aches and pains and inflammation and back pain and neck pain and shoulder pain and digestive issues, there are emotional things that are connected to that. And it is our job to figure out what that is. Why is it showing up? Why is it reoccurringly showing up? What's going on? When you get to that part and you heal from there, everything else becomes easier. You can think better. Now, of course, there's things like mold toxicity, hormone imbalances, vitamin and mineral deficiencies, parasites. All of that stuff is part of the picture too, which is why we do the testing that we do. And then we make sure we give your body what it's needing. But again, that's a fraction of it. It's not the only thing. So I'm going to ask you one more time. Do you see yourself? Are you speaking up for yourself? Are you kind to yourself? Do you hear you? Do you value you? And if you do, are you speaking up for the things that you're needing? Thanks for listening. I'll see you guys next week. Thanks for tuning into the Lizzie Young Show. If you're ready to take the next step to transforming your health and life, visit www.undietyou.com for all my resources and to book your consultation today. Don't forget to subscribe and join me each week for more tips, inspiration, and conversations with phenomenal guests to help you feel your best. See see you guys next week.